back. It's time to turn it up and bring the noise again. Back with another records unboxing, once again from the good peoples at Record City, Japan. Yeah, this has been a bit of a go-to for a while, particularly at the moment again because they got good stuff, they got great prices, and the conversion rate is pretty sweet at the moment. Um, Big boy again, this one. So, you know the deal. It's too big to be on the chair here as we bust on in. Let's see what tasty goodies are inside of this one. Alrighty, so this one again is a bit of a bundle with my man Rad Danny, and yeah. So the post for this one, for per LP, just to get it kicking off, was only $3.25 per LP. That's Australian dollars after conversion. So very, very reasonable again per LP. Look, the majority is my stuff again, but hey, good to bundle up to reduce the costs, which is fantastico. And yeah, let's crack on in just to again see what's happening on top here. I'll just lift it up in case there's spoilers. No, there's not at this stage. So yeah, we've got the secure cardboard thing happening, layers, and then the LPs will be underneath that, so again, nice and secure. Yeah. So time to put the box down and get more out of this. Alrighty, so let's kick this off. And yeah, it would have been spoilers if I'd put the camera down after pulling up the cardboard because the LPs were right there. Yeah, this first one is for this guy. Yeah, look, I've seen this a few times. It's a bit of an older one for this awesome saxophonist who had a long career. But this one is on an odd label for this artist. It's not at the time the usual label he was on. But nevertheless, I saw a really good review about it. I didn't stream it on purpose. But I'm going for reputation and price. And yeah, also condition too. Looks really nice. So that is Stanley Torrentine with Stan the Man Torrentine. And you'll see that it is stereo, which is nice, but it's on this Time Records label. So no Blue Note thing, because it is early on. I think it's about 61 maybe, somewhere around there. Originally, this will be a reissue, no doubt. I'm pretty sure it is. From memory. Yeah, this weird old school abstract artwork cover, so I don't know, really says anything about Stan the Man. It just time sort of puts it, places it in the time period, I suppose. And yeah, let's have a look here. You can see the condition's pretty rock solid. It's pretty good, eh? And yeah, it's early 60s, very, very early 60s here. Yeah, a couple of standards, I think. There, I think that Time After Time, not old Cindy, Ms. Lauper. But we've got Stolen Sweets, which I've seen a lot of covers of or versions of. But here we go with the personnel, which is quite nice here. Sort of, that late 50s, early 60s, regular personnel type peoples. You'll see with Sonny Clark on piano, George Duvivier on bass, and Tommy Flanagan piano again. There's two pianists that must be on different songs, obviously. And good old Max Roach, strong drummer, dominant drummer in the late 50s. Yeah, who's no slouch. So a bit of a ride up there. I'm not sure it's going to tell me the year there. I don't think it is, but this one's saying it's I don't know that it's actually printed in New York. Was produced in US, so I'll have to check that out because I just can't remember from when I bought it. I'm just trying to see if there's any other signs on here of Japanese yen or anything. Overseas stereo. That sounds a bit different. Yeah, I thought it might be a Japanese press. It possibly is, but we'll see. Price wise, let's crack on into the value. Because I really did pull the trigger because good name and inexpensive sort of stuff here. And look, I mean, and the condition was very good, plus or something. I don't know. So look, it was only $8.62 Australian. $8.62 Australian. Damn. And then that's plus just the $3.25 Australian. So you hit around the 12-ish mark there, all up, all in, posted. So, that'd be some nice, post-bop stuff. I'm sure there's some mellow stuff on there, but that's, it got a good rap. So let's crack on. Okay, look, the next one, this is, I bought this as a replacement copy of a copy I had that was only, I think, very good minus. I bought a while ago, fairly cheaply because it was there and I didn't have it. It's not essential, to be quite honest, but it is really part of an extensive collection I have from this artist. It comes from, I think, 1978, and though the title would tell you otherwise. And look, there's some decent stuff in it, to be honest. It's not totally trash, but you'll know it's not from this artist's strongest period, and that is James Brown with Jam 1980s, featuring The Spank and Eyesight. So this is a nicer copy I've got now of this. I believe it was like at least Very Good Plus or something. So it was just an upgraded copy in an expensive manner. But 1978. It still is James Brown. It still is on Polydor, as you can see there. It's just not his strongest stuff, strongest recording either. Like the sound of the recording's not the strongest. But look, Jam and The Spank, they're very decent songs, to be honest. Sure, they're not as strong and sort of syncopated funky as earlier stuff, earlier JB stuff, but hey, it's decent. The second side, I think there's one more decent song. But you can see this is James Brown, new disco sound. So again, he's competing with the dance floor and the disco craze of the time. So look, I don't want to judge him too harshly for that. He had to survive to 1978, but hey, this stuff is still a lot better. Mostly, overall, is still a lot better than most other stuff around that time, which was disco. So, Jam and Spank. I think particularly Jam, I know he played a lot in his sort of later shows and 80s shows and stuff. Full tilt. Now look, price for this nice James Brown morsel. You can see the cover's really, really nice, really solid, clean. Not seeing any ring wear or anything. So, I'm going to get an upgrade. All that needs to look, pardon the pun, spanky. Price for Mr. Brown's 1978 output in this condition, look, really reasonable at $8.62. So, basically like the Stand the Man LP we just went through. So, once you had post, barely cracking the 12 Australia. I mean, geez, that's really cheap. So I will upgrade my previous copy. Oh, and by the way, I do believe that was also a US copy. Might be hard to see there. Sorry, I forgot to mention that though. New York, see? There you go. So yeah, it's a US bona fide OG copy. Not that it's the most sought after anyway. All right, next up. Look, I've had this album on my want list for a while, but not greatly high. I had listened to it a while ago. There's some nice moments on this LP. Look, but you got to put it in context that this is, I suppose it's I think mid-60s originally for this one. Now this is a reissue, a fairly more recent reissue. So at least it should be in nice condition, but it is a second-hand reissue, which seems weird. But look, it was basically in the open sealed condition, near mint minus anyway. And I could buy a new reissue for a bit more, but hey, this was cheaper. Trio here, and two of them famously played with in the Ramsey Lewis trio just prior to this stuff, and that is the Young Holt trio with Whack Whack. With Hysea Don Walker as making up the third on piano. This is earlier in their run, their Young Holt trio run, and then there are other versions in the 70s, early 70s. Look, very much the still in the Ramsey Lewis kind of vein here, with mostly sort of like covers and stuff. And this is where it gets a bit inconsistent, but there is some sort of funky jazzy-ish stuff, groovy as well on this LP, which is cool. Brunswick Records, so they kept the logo there with the reissue, and I turn around here, you can see they've kept the the Brunswick Records logo there with the rainbow arrow. Now, as I said, I'm not sure exactly when this one came out, but this reissue, it seems decent there. We'll see how flat it is when we play it. Hopefully it's nice and flat. They're still keeping the look on the back, the OG look, which is cool. And look, I've seen the original of this go for different prices, some more reasonable than others. And here, look, you can see Monday cover of Mama and Papa's song written by John Phillips there. Strangers in the night. Look, song for my father, Horace Phillips. So look, lots of covers there. Neil Hefti with Girl Talk there. Sunny, I'm sure it's the same Sunny song. And Yesterday, Beatles. But then we've got, look, the title track, Whack Whack, is actually written by the trio. So that's nice, is that original on there. And Elder Young wrote one, You Know That I Love You. And finishes off the album with the traditional, This Little Light of Mine. And I'm sure they'll let it shine on here. So look, bit of a fun record in a way. Not the most groundbreaking kind of stuff. But some nice trio work here in a kind of almost poppy, jazzy kind of, I suppose, vein. Very much like Ramsey Lewis Trio. Now, price-wise, it was really reasonable too, especially for this being nearly brand new. I believe it was near mint grading, and the price was $13 and a whole 1 cent Australian in the end on conversion, and then plus the post, so just cracking over the 16 and a bit. I was glad to get it for that price. And then look, I don't know if you can see it's still in Shrinky Dink there. Just open Shrinky Dink, which I will remove. Because I don't need that. But at least it means I get it in pretty much near mint minus cover as well. Alrighty, cracking along now. This next one, I I did stream and was pleasantly surprised. It's really solid work. And I'd only just come across this art. Well, I've seen his stuff before, but just hadn't bothered to check it out. And I actually got one of his LPs in the last bundle from the late 70s. So I checked this one out because it was just a couple of years earlier. I believe 1977 for this one. So yeah, look, it's post 75, but it also comes from Japan. So sometimes they're a little bit behind at that time, you know. It is jazz fusion, but hey, this was really nice and stellar production, great price. So I thought I'm going to give this one a crack for the price. And you can see here, we have, Kasumi Watanabe, is it? That's how he says his name. I'm getting better at saying it, I think. You can see that it's just in the corner here. And it's called Olive's Step. So that's written under there, under the sticker there. In the corner, which is why it's a bit deceiving there. Yeah, great guitarist. Great jazz fusion stuff here. Of the time, but, I think it was done really well. So, look, I don't think it's totally earth-shattering, but I thought it was a really decent listen. On the Better Days label, so this is a Japanese thing made in Japan. Again, it was in really, really nice condition. And with the insert, so again, it's probably hard to see there with the the reflections, but yeah, you can see that is nice and shiny. Stellar condition there. I like that it's already in the plastic inner sleeve to keep it even better. Here we go with a nice bit of a booklet insert here, which just makes it a bit more bonus. Although, I mean, they're a bit bereft of a variety of photos. Got him 3 times the same photo, but whatever. Yes, and when I learn to read Japanese, I'll enjoy that. But hey, still got some nice pictures and things. Nice to have as part of the package too. And back cover here. Now that looks like damaged. Splats. No, I think that's part of it. A bit hard to read the text here, especially through that plastic there. That might make it a little bit easier, but yeah, just a bit hard to sort of read that, I suppose. My camera is struggling with that. Don't be that guy. Oh, anyway. Sorry. Yeah. Now, yeah, so there is a healthy amount of tracks on there. I think it was about 8, maybe, somewhere around that. It's a healthy length. It's a bit of variety too, but definitely in that sort of late 70s jazz fusion vibe. But because it's a bit earlier, there's some tasty stuff on there still. Okay, and price for this, well, when you hear the price, you'll go, oh, whatever, hey. Even though I'm going to definitely get my value for $5.09 Australian in awesome condition with all that stuff. And yeah, this is a good album. Yeah, what are you going to do? $5.09 plus the $3, $8 and a bit. You can buy one whole beer for that if you're lucky these days at a pub, and it's gone. And you piss it away. This one I get to keep and enjoy over and over with his fluorescent guitar. Yeah. Alrighty. Good value there. Next up, some more awesome value. This one is actually a brand new reissue. Brand new and sealed reissue, um, which is superb. Now, I have seen this at the moment fairly cheap. I've seen it at Dusty Groove, listed for a while. It was fairly cheap there, but I think I got a better deal through here and the post. So with the cheap post, it worked out a little bit better. All up, and yeah, with the conversion rate. Although the other one's very reasonable at Dusty Groove. This one, it's a cracking bit of sort of post bop, but I suppose post bop in a way, or bopish stuff from the very early 60s, possibly late 50s. I think it's more like around 1961, perhaps, somewhere around there. And it's led by a drummer who only, I think, really was up front on the marquee for a few albums. And this is one of them, and this is, I think it's 3 albums. This is one by Dave Bailey, with the Dave Bailey Quintet, with 2 Feet in the Gutter. Kind of like that picture. It's cool, and I like it's got the old school American fire hydrants that, you used to see always on things like Sesame Street. I suppose it reminds you of that sort of thing. 2 Feet in the Gutter. And, there's some nice high energy stuff on this LP. Yeah, I think he only had 3 back in the day, sort of a run of 3 LPs. I might be wrong. Now, so you see, this is still, I don't know if you can see there, it's hard to see, it's still in shrinky dinky dink there. I like how they've kept the original artwork and layouts, which is nice, to keep it looking a little bit more authentic. Look, he's probably not the biggest name out there, probably a forgotten name. He did play with other artists, but mostly he was the accompaniment drummer, rhythm section. So yeah, it's just cool that he's out front on this, and I'm just trying to see who else is on. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I looked at this. He's the leader. I'm just trying to see. La la la. Okay, then here the exceptional tone. Okay. Yeah. Pianist is Billy Gardner. Then here, the exceptional tone, simple swinging, and uncomplicated phrasing of tenor saxist Frank Haynes. Is it Frank Foster? It says Frank Foster's shiny sock, but I don't know. Anyway, bassist Ben Tucker. There we go. Ben Tucker's there. Yep. Okay, so I've got a couple of songs here. They're a little bit more stretched out, which is great. As I said, they start to cook some things up here with some energy. You can see there around the 5, 7, 8 minute mark on that side. And then I think it's 2 songs on this side with, Coffee Walk a Lady Iris. A bit of a slightly shorter side, but the Coffee Walk song goes, 9 minutes 8, long song. So that's nice to have. And price wise, I hear you scream at me. Well, let's see. The Dave Bailey Quintet was only $14.65 Australian, brand new. Brand new. This is not a deleted item with a cutout notch or anything. This is a newish, later, around about contemporary, sort of reissue around now. And then when you bang on the post, we are still under 20. We're around the 18. All up for a brand new, unopened reissue. So I'm hoping it will sound good. Oh, by the way, that was originally, just for interest's sake, on Epic at Jazz. So you don't hear a lot about Epic jazz at the time. There weren't a big hitting name in jazz. So that's cool. But yeah, this is a good one. Okay, next up. Now this one, I don't know if this was the most expensive in my lot. It was definitely up there. I think it may have been one of the most expensive in the bundle. So it was good to take up advantage of the overall cheaper post to get this down. Um, and I think this is the first LP I have, like solo LP of this artist. Um, yeah, look, I've got plenty of records where he's playing rhythm via drums. So he's a drummer, quite a well-known, jazz drummer, particularly of the 60s. Cracking drummer. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the only one I've got of his. So it was good to finally get one. Now, this is a reissue, but it was in really, really good condition. Like, I think it was like near minus, which is why I paid a little bit more for it. And it was a later reissue. It might have even been like a 90s reissue, I think, early or in the 80s. But the other thing is, which we'll talk about soon, is it's also a little bit more special in some ways. Anyway, and that is Elvin Jones with Polycurrents. And it is a Blue Note thing. So Elvin, who famously played with John Coltrane, quartet, McCoy Tyner, So this is him busting out on a solo LP. I'm pretty sure he had a couple other ones maybe before this. This is about 1969 from the top of my head. But yeah, I just wanted to get some stellar Elvin Jones. Now, again, this one I purposely didn't listen to. I went off of reputation here, of him, of Blue Note, and other good things I've heard about it. So I'm a bit of a gamble here, but it's more of an educated gamble with this. Now, this is, oops, I think I'll commit to pulling that out. Because, yeah, look, you can see this is like very, like a laminated sort of affair, right? And with the later Blue Note logo there. Yeah, when they were taken over, you can see there we've got the different the Transamerica Corporation thing there. Yeah, but so this is a very I was trying to check if it's a shrink on. I didn't think it was going to, but yeah, so you can see it's very sleek. And even on the front there, but that's okay. It'll be very nice and protected as a reissue. But this has something else in yarn, which makes it a little bit special. That it is a Japanese reissue, I believe, but it is, in fact, promo. Oh yeah, it just doesn't have all the trappings of a regular promo, like a white label or something. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this was advertised as. Oh yeah, there you go. You might have seen that spoiler before. Look, promo. Looks really nice. Got the sort of OG looking kind of label there, one of the older ones. All right, but yeah, you can see some of the Japanese text there. So yeah, promo, awesome condition, but I did pay up for this one, but with the awesome conversion rate at the moment, I got off a little bit lighter than you normally would for this LP. Now, that was $39.39 Australian. So we are kicking just under the 40 mark there, but add a bit of the post, around the 42. And that's okay with me with this lovely copy, even though it is a reissue. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, maybe 80s, 90s. I'll find out. Okay, so yeah, that's I'm pretty sure that only Elvin Jones have got solo for now. So hopefully that's a cracker and lives up to the expectations on good old Alvin Jones. But yeah, he is a solid cracking drummer. Alrighty, next up, I also paid for this one, and this is it is a reissue as well, but I still paid up. It's just one of those records that, yeah, the original costs a lot. Look, I did compromise a little bit on this one, in terms of the package you get, but not in terms of the quality condition, and definitely not in terms of the actual artist. This one originally came out, it's a bit of an oddity as well with the original, because I'm pretty sure it came out like mid 60s. Okay, so I think it was about 1965, maybe 6, somewhere around there. But it's an oddity in the way that this artist, again, was usually and around the time recording for a different label. But this one, yeah, has some nice stuff that I'm looking forward to, and that is Grant Green. Look at that. His Majesty King Funk. Now, not funk like we get in the 70s, but, you know, we're getting that sort of funkiness as such, groovy sort of thing happening. And you'll notice it's on Verve. Say what? Look, you can see here we've got Obi, so signifying the Japanese thing here as a reissue. I think this is like a late 70s reissue. Something like that. Maybe the brown's given away. Brown's very 70s. Yeah, and oh, you can just see there sneaking there. You can see a 1965, yeah, signifying obviously when it originally came out. But yeah, this is a bit different, apparently, to Grant Green's slightly earlier Blue Note and stripped down, like basically trio stuff. Yeah, we've got the nice Verve label there. Not that everything on Verve is awesome-o, but this is an exception. Now, just to take this out, yeah, it's in really nice, awesome condition. Hopefully, I mean, that's what it was listed as. Let's have a bit of a squizzer there. Yeah, that's looking schmickety schmick. Look at that. Basically, from here, it looks really, really nice. Tasty. Now, what I compromised on, as I was saying before, is that I know the original, which I think was it Preston, Germany? I think it was something like that. But anyway, came in gatefold. So I am aware of that. When I bought this and I pulled the trigger, that I was foregoing a gatefold edition. But hey, I never really ever see this record. Rarely, barely ever. And that includes the original. But we do have a little bit of a liner here, at least, that might give me a little bit of compensation, although it's more of a advertising liner inside it, except for that stuff there that will be fun to read one day. Now, I'll just put that aside because it's a bit harder to read here. We've got the back cover here, which is nice. It's very simple Verve stuff here. But yeah, but you already notice here, we've got a 5-piece here. Quintetting it here, as opposed to some of his earlier 63 piece stuff. And Ben Dixon is there. I'm pretty sure Ben Dixon was playing with him earlier a lot. But on top of that, you'll notice there is no bass player. No bass player, because we've got Larry Young on organ. I'm sure he will more than adeptly fill in the bass with that and get some organ colouring on top. So yeah, Larry Young. Harold Vick, great to see on there on tenor sax. But also, interestingly, we've got Candido. Candido's on there, conga bongo percussionist player, but he's billed with his full name, with the Camaro. surname. But yeah, it's that Candido, known as Candido. So we've got some percussion on. So it's feeling this is more of a filled out sound and session, which is probably why they're going King Funk in there, because you're probably getting a little bit gritty and funky here. 5 songs, so we're getting stretched out a bit here. We do have Willow Weep for Me. That old standard as such. But I'm not sure about the other ones. The Selma March, the Cantaloupe, Woman. That Lucky Old Son, and Daddy Grapes. Don't know if they're talking about his father's hemorrhoids, but I doubt it somehow. Yeah. All right, so we got the Obi and that on there. Kind of cool cover. Price-wise, though, again, this was a higher price thing here, and it was the same as the Elvin Jones one, exactly the same price, being $39.39 Australian, plus the post are just cracking over the 40-ish. But look, this looks like a really nice copy, even though it is a reissue, even though it isn't gatefold, so hopefully I will get over myself with that. And I'm sure it's going to sound awesome being a lovely Japanese press. Although, as I said, I'm pretty sure the other one was a German one, so that would have been cracking too. I might be mistaken, unless there was a German version then a US, but hey. Yeah. Mr. Green. Whoa. Okay, cracking along. Okay. Now, the next one. This is my first, I won't say solo, it's kind of solo, where this artist is the headliner LP that I have. I do have him playing on lots of other stuff. But, yeah, I've just always found this stuff is being way too, maybe not way too expensive, but a bit more of an investment too. And I took advantage of the fact that it was a decent price to start with, and with the conversion came down even more. So I'm really excited to have this LP by this artist. And it is a spanking new reissue, which is super cool. It is from the late 70s. I'm going to guess about mid 70s, I think, 75 for this one. So it's a really good period for this artist and his the backing man he's got, that he really is a part of. And damn, that is Tony Allen with Africa 70. Yes, fellow acoustics band that Tony Allen was the drummer for a long time. With Jealousy. Yes, got it. Finally got a Tony Allen LP. One at least where he is got the top billing there, his name on it. Yeah, new reissue. Obviously, it's not the original copy, but it is a new reissue. It's a pretty solid cover, that actually. It feels pretty rock solid. This piece. Now, yes, in true Africa 70 fellow cootie kind of style, this is, again, one of these ones where it's an LP, but you get 2 songs. 1 song per side, stretched out. But hey, that's to be expected. And you can see even here, we've got fellow Ransom Cootie all over this. Look, he even plays on it. Fancy that. So, look, you can argue how much of this is a Tony Allen thing and how much of this is a fellow Cootie thing. It doesn't matter. It's basically one and the same, I reckon, without taking anything away from Mr. Allen there. Yeah, Afrobeat to the max here. I did still pay a bit extra for this, but I feel that I got a decent price compared to other places, especially for brand new. And that price for Jealousy was Australian $35.70. And then the post. So all up, I got it under 40 all up. Now, that is more at the higher end, but compared to other places I've seen and the other posters I've seen when you add on, I think I got away with this one, pretty decently. I wouldn't say it's a total bargain, but it is a decent thing, and especially I'm happy to get an actual Tony Allen listed LP, and brand new. So that is sweet. All right. And the next up. Yeah, this LP I've almost bought before. I saw a copy of it at a record fair in Brisbane last year, I think. And I kept seeing it, and I ummed and ahed about it then, which was pretty stupid of me, really. It was a reissue copy, the one I saw. And then it eventually sold out there when I probably thought, I'll buy it. As is always the way if you don't jump. And again, look, this is, as I say, every video, I've got way too many LPs by this artist. And now I've got way too many, plus one if you can ever have way too many of this artist's records. And this one comes from, I think, 1970, 71. I'll have to check that out. It's a little bit of a different one by this artist because I think he adds a bit more vocals than usual, but in a kind of grunty, bluesy way, I believe. And that is, let's get some more Jimmy Smith in ours, hey? Yeah? With I'm Gonna Get Myself Together. I'm Gonna Get Myself Together. Going without a G. Get myself together. Cool. With the very blue cover. Really cool here. So Mr. Smith here, and I know this should be, yes, it is a gate fold. So we'll crack on in a minute and have a look at that. We'll just look at the back here. Yeah, I like the monochromatic aesthetic here across, and the gritty sort of, phased out photo. He does have some covers on here for the time. Sitting on the dock of the bay. I think, is that Aha? Oh no, it might be a different one. Spill the Wine and Sugar, believe it or not. But a couple of other different songs as well. So I'll just crack open the gatefold. Well, all right, let's do this. So I haven't opened it yet, so I just hope let's go check. It's that record. Oh, okay, just making sure the record's not going to fall out of the middle. No, it's not. Oh, cool. Yeah, I have seen this before, but just in the reissue. You can see here it's got a bit of aging, so you can tell it's more authentic there. Where a little bit of so that yellowing, browning, aging there. I like what I see here. Bit of a spiel, bit of a write up here. Credits, and track list here with credits. Just still trying to see the year here. Pretty sure this is not 68. I'm pretty sure it's like 71 off the top of my head. Again. But anyway. Yeah, so super cool gatefold though, I like that. I didn't mention that, by the way, when we're in here, you can see, when I said the credits. I know what I want is Johnny Pate there. The Ara is a Jimmy Smith song, and I'm Gonna Get Myself Together, and Dirty Rooster Booger, which is cool. And Need Mo. So there's a few Jimmy Smith compositions here, mixed in with the covers. So yeah, nice balance there. Basically halfy, is it? So that just gives it a bit more value too, I think. So it's not just the whole covers LP. Oh, good to see that's in a polyline sleeve too. Yeah, and I believe that, yeah, it was, I think, like a very good plus or something condition. Yeah. Now, what I didn't mention though is the price for Mr. Smith. And again, this is really, really reasonable. $13 and a whole 1 cent Australian. $13 in the gatefold. Very good plus condition. I'm pretty sure it was very good plus or excellent or something. Plus the post, again, 16.25-ish. So no, really reasonable and half the price. Well, practically of the one I was going to buy anyway. And posted to my door though. So yes, I know. More Jimmy Smith. One day I'll have to have a Jimmy Smith marathon. Well, one long weekend probably. And play all my Jimmy Smith records and, yeah, party on. All right, next up. This one again. This is a new reissue. It's been on my list for a while. I haven't actually streamed it on purpose again. Reputation of the, well, we'll say band, but really it's a studio act. Yeah, this is a recent reissue of this because, again, it's always been quite expensive to get this. Never see the original, to be honest. I'm sure it's out there somewhere and probably people asking exorbitant prices for it. But this is the lesser known by this, well, we'll say, as I said, studio act. That's not really a studio act. Sorry, a band, but their first LP was a lot more famous and well known and still is. But look, I wanted this second one because the first one was cool. And there's some studio musos on here who I know are going to do the job well. It comes from 1974, so it's pre-75. So I'm pretty sure I know I'm going to get anyway, even if I haven't streamed it. That is the incredible Bongo band. And this is their second LP. It's the return of the said incredible Bongo band. Yeah. And here you can see it's a 40th anniversary edition from Mr. Bongo, which is quite apt, very appropriate for the incredible Bongo band being on the reissue label Mr. Bongo. So that seems like a nice marriage there. Yeah, and it's saying it's re-released for the very first time since 1974, sequel to Bongo Rock. So obviously this one's not as influential as the Bongo Rock LP that was used in hip-hop a lot and sampled and, yeah, a lot. And though we've got King Erison on percussion leading the way there. It is a Michael Viner production again by the same producer. But I think some of the lineup is maybe a bit different, but even still, you'll see here. Have a look at this. Ready? Yes, you're seeing that correctly. We've got Harvey Mason. Hal Blaine might have been on the original, Jim Gordon. But look, Mr. Ringo Starr. Yeah. And this time, yeah, King Harrison's doing all the percussion here. We've got clavinet. We've got Mike Melvin. I don't know who he is. I think he's a studio muso. Yeah, so it's a pretty lean band as such, to be honest. But the more intriguing, I suppose. So, yeah, as I said, not technically a band. And as you may be aware, that the original incredible Bongo band thing, when it took off, they just got different musos to go on the road. They actually took it live. But it wasn't the same people. Yes, 74. I like how they've reproduced the original cover here, artwork, logos and stuff. Pride. Yeah. Now, sealed, brand new. So I did pay a bit, but again, because it came down with the conversion, I jumped on it finally. I've been umming and ahhing about this one for a while. But yeah, because our conversion rate is better. I got it for $37.72 Australian. So it did come down under the 40. So all up, I'm just hitting around the 40 altogether with post and post on my door. So yeah, look, bit of a gamble away that I've not listened to this. But a nice collector's piece. All in all, and I'm sure it's going to have some cool funky stuff on there where they're reinterpreting lots of covers, which we haven't had a look at yet here. Although there is some originals by Michael Viner there. Look at that. Then we've got Sing, Sing, Sing. We've got Pipeline and Wipeout. Some surfing tunes. Hang Your Head Down, Tom Dooley. But it says by Michael Viner. With your ties caught in your zipper. Now we've got something called Topsy. I'm not sure about that one, but Michael Viner's on the part C of it. Michael Viner on sharp 9. And then we've got a version of Satisfaction. Or in parentheses, I can't get no. Satisfaction. Yes, that Rolling Stones one. And then we've got the Sun in the Morning and the Daughter at Night. Woohoo! But only gets 1 minute 56. And then Okie Dokie by Wes Farrell. I don't think it's Okie Kokie or whatever the Hokey Pokey. It's Okie Dokie. Which again seems like that would be a cover song. So look, yeah, we know what we're in for, pretty much. Yeah, so that's now got the Pigeon Pair as reissues of the incredible Bongo Band. Okay, next up, cracking on again with another reissue here, brand new, taking advantage of a great price. Look, talking about Pigeon Pairs, well, at least in terms of this bundle, this is a Pigeon Pair as such to one I showed you before. Again, very excited to have this. I think this one comes from 1977. So that means I've sort of knocked 2 down of these late 70s or mid to late 70s reissues from this guy and band and stuff, as you know. So I'm just going to crack on in and tell you, we got Tony Allen again. Woo! We got progress here. Tony Allen plays with Africa 70 with a great Nigerian Paisley cover, you know, from that. I think it's the same artist who did all the Fela Kuti stuff anyway here. So that's great to see more of an illustrated cover with progress. And I believe this one I got actually a little bit cheaper than the other one. The other Tony Allen reissue. Yeah, so loving the cover and the detail in there. That's really impressive. Works really well on a big LP sleeve on the back. Cool photo. List of the players, which is really nice to see on this one. I don't know if the other one did. I'll have to check later on. I'm just not seeing... oh, no, there he is. Fela Kuti's there. Tenor and piano solos again. So, yeah, another extension of Africa 70 Fela Kuti here. Now, so what we got here? 2 songs again, I think. Progress and then Afro Disco Beat Instrumental. Kooky. All right. Yeah, still sealed, brand new, reissue. Yeah, there's that artist. Yeah, there we go. 2020. I don't know if this one came from 2020 or that's when they got the reissue rights, but yeah, you can see it's quite contemporary reissue for progress. I'm pretty sure 1977. I don't know if I saw that anywhere on the back there, but price of this, as I said, I do believe I got this a little bit cheaper than the other one, and yeah, it was $32.71 Australian. So it's a basic $3 cheaper than the other one, which was $35.70. Yeah, so that was nice to get it cheaper anyway. So look, get the 32 there with hitting about $36, all up for a brand new reissue of a quality act. So very, very happy about that. Yeah, I'm just seeing that. So I know I showed you that before. I'm just trying to see if there's showing the original year. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's about 77. I'll tell you. I probably already have. Yeah. How cool is that? Alrighty, let's chug along here. Bam. This one. Bam. Another reissue. Well, yeah, this one is a reissue. Not that this one's been out that long as such, not like Tony Allen. But again, it was really nice to get this at a great price for this artist on this, well, technically this label, which we'll talk about in a minute. I don't even have this on CD. I thought I did at the time when I went to buy it, and I checked it out and I was, hang on, I don't even have this at all. So that was a bonus too. Yeah, and this is Charles Bradley with Black Velvet. So some lovely soul. Funky soul in a way. Now it is on the Durham label, which is a subsidiary of the Daptones, baby. And including the download card too, which makes even more of a bargain here. Is the black vinyl edition. I'm okay with it. I'm not worried. It's okay by me. And in fact makes it look more OG. Yeah. So, Black Velvet, because I think that's his like moniker. He's the Black Velvet. But, yeah. With the sort of Daptone aesthetic as such. And, yeah. Style, font, and all that. You can see here, like, it's got done 1007, but still got a Daptone kit code there, DAP054. It is featuring the Menahan Street Band. So they're the backing band on this one too. It's cool, made in Czech Republic, which is fine, boring me. Yeah, 10 songs, which will be some great, soul. He's a cool singer. Well, he was, sorry, I should say. And unfortunately, like Sharon Jones, who was his label mate, he's also passed a few years ago. Yeah, so this is a brand new edition. And the price was very reasonable, especially for a Daptone thing. Which was $21.24 Australian, brand new. How good is that? Plus the post, so we're hitting around about $25 all up, brand new, with the download card. In the shrinky spanking, the legit thing. So yeah, I'm trying to remember when this first came out, about 2000. Late 2010s. There we go. It's saying 2018. Yeah. And I'm not sure if this one was around the time he died, maybe, or I don't know, it was posthumous or. Yeah, I can't remember. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, appearing for the first time on LP by the late great. Yeah, there we go. So that's in the late great. Appearing for the first time on LP. So maybe this is the OG. Maybe this is not a reissue. I don't know why I thought it was. Okay, well, sounds like it's the OG thing. Anyway, cracking on. This one is not for me. This is for my man D. And he got an incredible bargain here. I almost bought this. It was on my watch list originally, and then I I'm in no if I wanted it, just for collection's sake, really. I'm probably thinking now, maybe I should have, just for collection, because it's really nice, and it was just like, I want to say cheap as chips, but that's an understatement. It's cheaper. Really, this is cheaper than chips. Um, yeah, this is a compilation. It is 2 LP as well. Like double the bargain, dead set. In a bloody gatefold. And that is double deluxe. It's a CTI 8/A&M thing. So this is when CTI was part of A&M at the late 60s. And this is like a sampler of that stuff. Super cool. And I'm even digging that simple artwork, to be honest, when I'm seeing it now. Yeah, so I know it's got some split seams. As you can see here, yeah, there. Bit of splitting seam, but hey, when you hear the price, damn. Look at that. I will take it out carefully in a minute, but we need to talk, we'll talk cost first. I think I can remember off the top of my head how much this cost. I think it was like all up $2.19. Well, not all up, sorry. Before post, I think it was $2.19 Australian. Damn, I mean, can't even buy a can of drink for that, eh? Like these days. It's like, what the hey? And that's why, again, I ummed and ahed about it. Oh, I should get this. It's only $2.09. Yeah, $2.19. So originally $2.49 yen. And it came down even, yeah, it wasn't even like $2.50 Australian. $2.19 then plus. Now it was double post. Okay, we gotta remember that. Because it's 2 LP. But really then, I mean, the post costs more than the bloody double LP. So yeah, the cost was like $6.50 all up. Whoop-de-bloody-do. So yeah, it's hitting $8 or something. I don't know. It's not even worth counting. How good is that? So I'm just gonna yeah, crack this open and have a look. So I'm just gonna have to try to be careful here because I know it's got some split seams, and I just don't want a debacle to happen, especially too when it's not my product. Let's just grab it there. Super heavy, thick cardboard. It's just been around the block a couple of times, I suppose. Yeah, here we go. We're starting to sleep. I'll just pull this one out here because it's just starting to slide out. That's some nice, yeah, pretty thick vinyl anyway. And a nice spread in the middle here with some familiar faces already. Some not so familiar faces. Have a look around. But I do remember this has got some cracking stuff. Now, they're saying this is a 1970s thing here. I don't know if it's the Japanese version, although I don't know if there was an American version. So these will be your late, mostly late 60s stuff, because at this time, CTI was becoming its own label proper. So I don't know if they've broken away from A&M yet, or on the verge of. But yeah, let's see again. Was there a listing on the back? No. So the listing, it's going to be on the label, but yeah, there's plenty of good stuff here, from what I remember. And all right, let's see if we can get the glare out of there. Yeah, look, we've got George Benson, a couple of J.J. Johnson and Kai Winding songs as well. This one, and what are we got on this one? Paul Desmond doing Obla Di Obla Da. I've got, yeah, Johnson and Winding again. They're doing Wichita Alignment. Well, I've got the Soul Flutes on here. More George Benson on that one. Pull this one out here. What do we got here? Oh yeah, Herbie Mann. A couple of Herbie Mann. Oh, the Walter Wanley ones. He's kind of kooky. Yeah, Adderley. By the time I get to Phoenix, another Jim Webb song there. Artie Butler one will be interesting. Another Paul Desmond, The Summertime. This is really nice. Got that LP too. What else we got? Oh, Quincy Jones. Nice. More J&K. More soul flutes. Oh, we've got some wares down the end there too. So that's a nice healthy overview of some of the tracks on the ATM CTIEs. Yeah, how good that price. All right, next up, this one also is not for me. This is, yeah, one I can't really tell you much about. I do, yeah, I know the names here of the people who are on here. Weird title though, Mr. D, but hey, you know what you're into, you know what it's about, and I have every confidence you know it's going to be good value here. And what we have is something called Mighty Lice Season 4, but it's Aesop Rock and Homeboy Sandman. So obviously, I think it's just a collaboration thing here. Am I right? Okay. Mighty Lice. Season 4, apparently. Not sure what that is about. So, cracking on here. Yes, looking very Miami indeed with the aesthetic here. This will be some, yep, I'm going to guess some hip-hop-y, maybe sort of, don't know if it's going to have much, any DJ work or anything, but yeah. Can't tell you much about this one. Does it have the year on here? Let's see if it's even got a year. I think it's very recent, isn't it? And it's sealed. So I wouldn't say this is even a reissue. I'd say this is new. First issue, perhaps. I'm going to guess. With Tubbs and Crockett on the front. All right. Yeah. So can't tell you much, but I can tell you about the price because I believe this looks like a great price for hip hop stuff, especially if it's contemporary. And brand new, $23.13 Australian, mate. Single LP, so be about 26-ish, 26 something, 50-ish, 30-ish. So that sounds like a really good price. Look, I do know Danny. Yep, I know you have a high opinion of Aesop Rock. I think you've shown me some of his stuff before, but I have no idea about the rest of this LP. Oh, sorry, there is a my bad. There, 2026 it is, this year. Wow. Spec. That's great. A great price. Alright, yeah. So I'm sure you'll enjoy that thoroughly. Alrighty, next up. Now, I didn't mention this artist before because he's part of another group of it on one of the LPs I bought. But this is his own stuff. And I did buy this guy's first LP recently. And it was after the second one, more so to be honest. And I've seen it, and I was going to have to pay an arm and a leg for it overseas and through Discogs. And then I saw this brand new reissue and a great, way better price. Yeah, so much better price. So I'm really glad to have this. And yeah, might be a bit hard to see, but this is Hisia Don Walker, who was in the Whack Whack on the Whack Whack album with the Young Holt Trio. He was the third one, the pianist. And this is the Complete Expressions, and it's like volume 2. I don't think it says volume 2 there. But you can see that's where they're sneaking in the title and the artist name. But you can see on there it says volume 2. And yeah, that was the saga where I bought volume 1 and it was warped. Wasn't a big, huge saga. It was just a disappointment. But yeah, Record City did me good. Gave me the refund. I ordered another copy of it that came good. So I'm going to expect this is in the same sort of run. Might be wrong. They still got the Brunswick label toted there, but I'm not sure about the reissue company. I am going to assume it's the same, reissue mob, which is not labeled anywhere at all. So, yeah, the last one was nice heavy vinyl. The first one was a bit warped. The second one slightly warped, but it plays nice. So I'm hoping this one's going to be okay and we don't have to go through that again. Not that it's ever, that's not Record City's fault. But yeah, Expressions Volume 2 here. Again, should be some nice sort of soul jazz or whatever. I don't know if you call it soul jazz. My only criticism of the first LP, which I've got a feeling, just quickly having a browse here, look at the listing on the second LP, is that there's lots of songs, but they're very quick. It's very, very short songs. That was my only criticism for the last one. I would like to hear more. And not in terms of, hey, I've got a second LP now I can hear more. I mean, in terms of the actual songs. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to have quick ones. But you can see here the listing, look, they're almost like, Motown single length, pop song length, 2 to 3 minutes each. So yeah, he's been succinct, but it just leaves me wanting a little bit more. A couple hitting the 4 there, but again, you'll see overall it's not the longest. But hey, we can't have everything. So yeah, mostly Don Walker compositions. We do have a cover of Killing Me Softly there. That Satisfaction is not Rolling Stones Satisfaction there. We do have Children of the Night by Bell and Creed there. Composition, but everything else you can see is Don Walker all the way through. Even one called Pujo. Pujo. Interesting title. Yeah, but we've got the OG look here too. Nice. I did pay more for this one than his first one, just a little bit more, but again, very reasonable price to get this and have this definite pigeon pair now, and hopefully it all goes well. Yeah, this one, but again, nothing too full on. $24.97 Australian plus the post. So yeah, 28 and some bits. Okay, still under 30 all up. Posted to me with the lovely appropriated Salvador Dali artwork cover. I don't know if they got the rights to it or sued or whatever, but hey, it kind of makes it look cool anyway. Yeah, so really happy to have that in the collection, brand new. Oh yeah, sorry, there it is. It was hiding in not plain sight. There, volume 2 is written up there. That's how you can tell the difference. Oops. That flew off. Yeah. Nice one. All right. Next up, another nice one. We've got a fair few brand new LPs this time. Not just all mostly secondhand. Yeah, this one's been on my list. It's come highly recommended when I've read reviews of this. It's got the right credentials, definitely, in terms of the artists who are playing on here, the year for this label, that is. Even though it is, technically, it is post-75. But for this label, it's got the goods. Yeah, and I got it for a really, really good price compared to where I've seen it before. And that is the spiritual jazz stylings of the Heath brothers, which is cool. Albert, Jimmy, and Percy Heath. So 3 of them. But it's also got Stanley Cowell on. And it's called Marching On. Hooah. And it is on Strata East. So, famous sort of jazz, spiritual jazzish, experimental jazzish sort of label, post-Coltrane leaning sort of stuff. But definitely not going down the mainstream path by the mid-70s, like so many others, or the sort of very electric jazz fusion stuff. Apparently, again, I'm pretty sure I didn't stream this, but I've heard really great things about this LP. So when I saw it for the price, snappity this one up for sure. Yeah, and it also says, see, I just stuck that in the corner of my eye. Our older sister Betty, who played piano as a child, is that dedicated to her? Yeah. She named this album, apparently. Here you go, in honor of the parents. Family affair. Now, Strata East. I've got a Strata East compilation. I don't know if I've got any other Strata East records proper. Although, you know, I have lots on my hit list. So, let's have a look down here. Yep, Albert, I think he's Tootie Heath, isn't he? Albert Tootie Heath on drums. He played with Herbie Hancock's, I think, Fat Albert Rotunda and stuff, didn't he? And Jimmy Heath on flute and saxes. We've got Percy on the bass and bass violin. But then we've got, Stanley Cowell, also very synonymous with Strata East, on acoustic piano, and Mubara, the thumb piano, to give it those African flavours. And look, you'll see here, though, it was actually recorded in 75 anyway. So even though it was released 76, see there, it's technically a 75 thing. But anyway, this Strata East, it's not mainstream stuff. Anyway, sounds a lot. This stuff sounds a lot more older school, progression of the older school 60 stuff. Yeah, so price for this gem, very reasonable. Brand new reissue, $21.81. Say what? That's Australian. Say what? Yeah, I've seen it for way more. And then plus the post. So we're cracking around again, dancing around the $25 all up posted to my face. Yay, hey, and brand new. So hopefully it's a great reissue pressing. Alrighty. Cracking along. We've still got lots of goodies left here. I'm trying to be pretty swift. This one, I'm going to give a crack. I did stream it once, and it was, I didn't mind it at the time. Look, it's a non-essential LP here. This, though, is a bit of a different one compared to everything else in the bundle here in terms of style. Look, they're not my favourite group, although they are a lot of other people's favourite group. And I do have some different records from this band. This is a mid-70s affair. It's not their most well-known LP. I think it was like 75 maybe, or 74 perhaps. Yeah, and look, as I said, it's not the most widely lauded, heralded LP of theirs, although it's got a couple of decent songs. And the ones that are more unknown, they're all right. But again, I got a fantastic price, great condition for a band that, look, even though it's not their best known album or highly regarded, it's still a really great price in this condition, and that is Rolling Stones with It's Only Rock and Roll from, I think 1974, or it was recorded 74, maybe released 75, but yeah. So we're still in the mid-70s here. When they've been having a pretty good run, mid-70s wise. Yeah, I'm not sure if they've had the personnel change here yet again, which we'll see. I don't mind that cover. There's enough variety on there. I kind of like that cover. But yeah, so let's just turn this one around. Okay, so famous mouth tongue logo, the early 70s stuff. Again, I think this was in like at least very good condition. I mean, you can even see there, like, I hope you can see that. It's pretty damn sweet. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. But you can see here, I did get it a bit cheap because it is a Japanese pressing from back in the day. I think this is actually their like a first pressing for Japan, but it's not the US. But that's okay because it's going to be in lovely condition. It does have this nice little bit of insert, but they did bother even with the insert to give the lyrics in English if you did want to sing along with your little sister there. So that's kind of cool. That's it's very considerate, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, got a nice little booklet insert. Now it is a non-gatefold affair, but I think even the original was non-gatefold from memory. Let's have a look. Yeah, made in Japan. There we go, 1974. Yeah, a little bit of marking on there, but that's okay. Now, yeah, there's only a couple of songs I think on here that were well known. I think it was that Dance Little Sister. I'm trying to remember if there was anyone else. Here's the listing here. Cover of Ain't Too Proud to Beg, which is interesting. They're doing covers by this stage. Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, we've got It's Only Rock and Roll, but I Like It. I think it was the other one that was obviously the more known track. But yeah, some of the other songs I had a listen. They're pretty cool, and I'm willing to give it another go. That's why I bought it, obviously, and especially for the price. Now, if I'm looking there, that is looking like Ronnie Wood there from Faces. So, I'm not sure if this is the first one he's on. To be honest, I'm not the biggest knowledge base of Rolling Stones. I know a bit, but I'm not the biggest massive fan there. So not sure when Mick Taylor left. If he left by Goat's Head Soup, is this possible? Yeah, but that looked like Ronnie Wood there. Who would have been joining them on second guitar, and probably did some vocals or backups as well. And that would have been very, very much closer after he would have finished up with Faces. Yeah, around the Ooh La La time with Rod Stewart. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go off that photo that that's correct. You'd hope that they didn't put the wrong image on there. Yeah, Mick Wood was. Oh, what's his name? Mick Taylor. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, but look, I'm not the biggest Rolling Stones fan, as I said, but nice to have this at the price. So, at the risk of raving on about this one, I will tell you about the price for It's Only Rock and Roll in it. $9.50 Australian. So under the 10 for this, in this great condition, fantastic. Even the cover looks really lovely there. Just a little bit of maybe a little bit of wear aging on the back or whatever down there, as I said. But it's not even ring wear. So look, again, I'm hitting around the 12, getting to $13 mark all up. So for a Stones album that condition, yes, it's not one of the more desirable LPs, like Sticky Fingers or those sorts of things, Exile and all that. I get it, but it's still legitimate. It's still a good era as such. Still rock and roll in it. Yeah, for a really reasonable price and great condition. I doubt you'd see that in Australia in that condition for that price. Alrighty, moving on from the Stones, man. getting back into more of a funk jazz groove here. With a cover from it's just a bit weird, but look, I thought I'd give this one a go. I think I did listen to this a while ago. It's a little bit of a inconsistent record for me. It is post 70. In fact, it's 79. So yeah, we get a bit late in the piece for this. Well, he's an artist slash producer as such, who used to be in the Jazz Crusaders and the Crusaders in the 70s up to about 1975. It was a key part of that, and then went into production with his at-home production company, I believe, and that is Wayne Henderson with Emphasized. I don't know what's up with this cover here. It's kind of fun in a way. I don't know if it's meant to be fun. It's kind of look like I don't know, pimp. Let's just say it. Let's just spell out and point out the elephant in the room there of that. So I don't know if that's cheese ball on purpose or what the hell's going on, but I don't know if you noticed. You might look at his fingers. He's got the power oozing from his fingers. Emphasized. But yeah, this is sort of, it's a solo LP, but it's also, I think it's like a, collaborative production LP thing in a sort of jazzy, funky way, and sort of a bit R&B-ish as well, I think. Now, I can't remember if this is a LP of two sides. Something's telling me in the back of my head that this might be an LP of two sides, like one that's a vocal song, one that's not. Can't remember. Look, this will be a hit and miss in a way. But I'm still confident I'm going to get some decent value out of some of this. Just don't think it's going to be overall, the whole thing's going to be absolutely stellar. Now, I am feeling that it is in open shrink. So I'll just try to take that out of the sleeve. Yeah, got a bit stuck on that outer sleeve because there's a sticker that had been removed and it got stuck on there. Yeah, so it's still in the open shrink from 79. So I'm just wondering, the LP was left inside here, so there may be there's a printed OG printed inner sleeve, which is cool. But good, they've even put in a plastic liner that saves me. Yeah, some liner notes that which is cool on inner, so that's lovely. As well as a schmickety schmick cover. Yeah, so there's going to be some slick production on here. I don't know if he's going to be playing. Well, no doubt he'll play trombone somewhere because he is a great jazz trombone player, trombonist. Yeah, and emphasized. I didn't pay an exorbitant amount for this, from memory. What I did pay was $14.50 Australian. So you can see the great condition it's in. With post 18-ish, so we're under the 20 all up, posted. With a cover that's going to be near mint in there once I take that off. Yeah, so some more at-homes production stuff from Wayne Henderson in my collection. Alrighty, next up, this one. This one's a winner. Had this on my list for a while from one of my favorite jazz artists. Yeah, love his stuff. Been after this one. When he had, I think he only had 2 LPs on this label in the sort of early 60s. Mid to early 60s, I think. But I finally got this one and got a great price. It is a later reissue, I believe. 70s reissue, I think, something like that. But I'm okay with that because it's a nice solid unit, and that is Freddie Hubbard, The Artistry of Freddie Hubbard on Impulse. Bam! Impulse exclamation mark. Yeah, so this is Impulse where John Coltrane, was on. Similar time actually, I think this one. And I believe he only had maybe had 2 LPs on Impulse. Between Blue Note and maybe Atlantic and then CTI. I think the other one was Body and Soul. Now the good news with this reissue, I believe it is also gatefold, and it's old school gatefold, so that feels really thick. I'll just swirl around first, have a look. Yeah, we've got that Impulse label here with the ABC logo. So it is a later, I'm pretty sure that's a later reissue sign there, but that's okay. And again, it was really, really nice condition. Oh, good, nice old school polyline here. Yeah, that is pretty schmickety schmick there. Ever so quick. This is the way you want it. The OG authentic Impulse strip on the back, which is fantastico. In stereo, yes, it's a made in Japan thing. That price is, I think, covering up the reissue year there, but that's okay by me. And let's have a look here. Yeah, you can probably hear that. Rock solid. Yeah, open up. Yeah, look, a bit of, as they would say, soiled. Just meaning like we got some foxing, aging there, and that's okay too. I know that's just, it's just aging and, staining and such. That's really nice. Gatefold there. Nice spread there. You can see here we've got, recorded, 1962. Yeah, so early 60s there. 5 songs. I think they were listed anyway on the back we saw before. Version of Caravan. Got a Freddie Hubbard song, Bob's Place, and another one, Happy Times. Then we got the obligatory Summertime, had to turn up somewhere on a Freddie Hubbard LP. But then another Freddie Hubbard OG with The Seventh Day. So, 3 out of 5 OGs ain't bad. 2 covers, standards as such, Caravan. Got a fair few versions of that, and Summertime, obviously, it's everywhere. So that's very nice and cool. All right, now, pretty damn solid cover. Price. Price was a cracker for this old school reissue, Japanese one, and that was $21.81. So super happy about getting a copy for that price, plus $3 something. So about $25 all up for some more Freddie Hubbard prime, early Freddie Hubbard. Sure, it's not his CTI Red Clay stuff, but yeah, there's still very much quality stuff to have in the collection, which is absolutely growing with my Freddie Hubbard stuff. Really plugging up some gaps. Alrighty, that sound will signify that I've pulled out another LP to speed this sucker up. Now, this is a second LP I've got in this bundle by this artist. Again, I streamed this and went, wow, this is actually quite good again. It is a 70s, late 70s affair. I think this one's, a little bit later than the other one I got. So it's 78. And it is on a different label though. I don't know why he had a different label between this, because the next album was back on a different label again. So anyway, quite a good album, this one too. And that is Lonesome Cat by Kasami Watanabe as well. Kazumi Watanabe. My bad. Yeah, and again, really pleasantly surprised about the jazz fusion here. Yeah, getting to the later 70s. But there's getting nice stuff on here. And I did stream one of his other LPs. I think that was in between this one or about the same year as this one. And the other one was schlocky. Like, what? And I couldn't believe how, like, schlocky commercial sounding the other one was. This one, not. It was just like, yeah, chalk and cheese, man. Got Lonesome Cat. I think, was it 1978? Did I say? Yeah, there you go. 78. Japanese on Denon. Denon, who make and made fine audio products and tapes, and didn't they? Yeah. So, Lonesome Cat. Again, I streamed it. There's some different stuff on here, but there's some really great stuff too. It is Japanese, so you're going to get a Japanese liner anyway, most of the time, and I've got it, which is super cool. Oh, look at that. But I also get some English translations here. So that makes it even better for me. I'll be able to actually read it. Now, personnel. There's some really cool stuff about this one. With some of the personnel. There is the American connection here. Which makes this, I think, even a little bit more special. We've got George Cables on piano, electric piano. Cecil McBee on bass. Lenny White on drums. And Alex Blake, I even think I've heard of electric bass. Probably not as much as the other three. Cecil McBee's on acoustic bass, which is pretty typical, I would say. Recorded December 77 there, you can see. But released 78. So, yeah. And this one was recorded in America, in New York City. So, wow, yeah. But I'm pretty sure there was another one he did with the Americans. The other one I think he did was just commercially oriented. Like, this one not. This one cool. Yeah, jazz stuff. And this is non-gatefold as well. Yeah, nice. So now I've got 3 of his LPs, which I never would have expected that quickly. But anyway, because again, it was very, very well priced, as was the last one. This one I paid a tiny bit more than the other one. $6.86 Australian. So like, yeah, what, $1 more maybe. Yeah, plus the post. So again, all up under $10 for quality recording. Recording's fantastic. The sound will be superb. Yeah, Japanese press. Lovely. Nice to have. All right, and counting down now to number one. Well, last, not number one, but last LP. This was the most inexpensive. Well, maybe except for Danny's, although maybe all up it was the most inexpensive. But this thing is a heavy mofo. I'm holding this up going, damn. Look, I do have this already, this LP. So that's going to sound weird. The copy I've got is no slouch. It's all right. I've actually got 2 other copies of this. One was not great. And I got a better one. But this one I'm getting because it's a special version of this. And it was so cheap. And I think people don't know what this is. But this is such a nice package. It's like, I got to get this as almost like an upgrade of the other ones that were inexpensive. We got Ramsey Lewis here. The golden hits again. Now, again, it's deceptive. I really think people think it's like old hits, the 60s stuff. No, this is early 70s. This is early 70s where he's redone some songs. He redid them with Cleveland Eaton. Yeah. So with his new band, and you can see here, I'm just gonna take this out because like this is super shiny, and you're not gonna get that effect. I'm still not getting it here because of the lighting, man. It's gold and silver, dude. Look, there you go. It's hard to see. Yeah, look. I just don't know if that's doing justice in this camera. Hopefully it is. Gold and silver. Look at that. Silver on the back. It is fantastic condition. It's just a little sticker mark there. There's some great songs on here. They are funky and stuff. Yeah. And look, this one is a gatefold, man. The other one's not. That's why I think it's like, look with a booklet. It's only just hanging up, but it's oh, maybe it was okay. Oh no, it's not. No, maybe it was. I don't know if it was glued or not. But anyway, look, super cool. Look at that silver disc. It's like silver and gold. Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, he's done some other old school songs, but he's redone them, and they are better. Oh, Poster Man. If I wanted to. How cool is that? With that, is that what's his name's hand? Yeah, Cleveland Eaton. And I just forgot the drummer's name. Naughty me. But yeah. No, right. I've already got, but hey, it's just so cool. Yeah. Loving it. Now, price for this shining thing, you ask. Look at that. Sexy. Price for this lovely thing. Let me find it. Because it's just nuts. Okay. $2.63 Australian. What the? I know, right? And that is some thick card. Yeah, it's not even split. Look. What are people thinking? All right. So, all up, $2.63 and $3.20. You know, not even, I think, hitting $6 all up posted to me in this great condition. And there's some cracking stuff on here. But yeah, I know they're covers mostly, but like we're slipping in a version of Slipping Into Darkness. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that stuff. Yeah. Something You Got, high heel sneakers. It's great stuff. Yeah. It's a cool album, man. So yeah, okay. So this is just a special version I've got of this, which is just fascinating, really. And for that price, man, what do? You buy it and you cherish it. Anyway, box is empty. We got there on this marathon. So I really hope you got something out of it like I did. So I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.